Live from the Rant Radio Network, you're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host, Alex Alanis,
and your co-host, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
no problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. Oh, is that here? Yes, hello, and we are back here at the Real Estate Rant, here at the towers of the Rant Radio Network. I'm your host, Mr. Alex Alanis, and to my left here, my co-host, Miss Lisa Lombardi. How are you, Miss Lisa?
I'm doing great. Having a great week so far. My dad's in town, so we went
Yeah,
to a Laker game
he's actually in
yesterday.
studio, Mr.
Yes.
Pantalones. Can we show the other angle here?
Say hi, Dad. Can we say hi
And
to
and
him?
and can I say is it Mr. Lombardi?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
there you go.
Yeah, Mr. Lombardi.
There you go. See, he's there. He's back there in the corner. Wave to the audience there. In studio today, we have Mr. Michael Simpson with Michael Simpson Systems. That's a tongue twister. I do apologize. You can reach him at 805-769-4625. And Michael does national speaking and training and coaching for commercial individuals, people that are interested in commercial and investing. And we will be covering that today during the show. Real Estate Rant is proud supporters of Michael Aguilar and Associates and Stroke Awareness. You can reach Michael at www.strokeawareness101.com, or you can email him at michaelpaguilar@hotmail.com. And Mr. Aguilar had a stroke a couple years back, and Real Estate Rant is a proud supporter of his efforts. He gives training and sponsorship to individuals to show them not to have strokes. So that's a good thing. As we get older, we tend to start losing our loved ones to some things, and some of those things are preventable. And stroke happens to be one of those dreaded events. Give us a call, 855-693-4897, or you can email us at realestaterantradio@gmail.com. Today, 91 degrees out, hot February afternoon. Isn't it winter time? I mean, I'm kind of lost on that.
I know, absolutely. It is hot.
I mean, I walked in and I'm I'm beating a sweat. I mean, it's kind of warm outside.
It is.
I'm driving down the street. My little thermometer on my car says 91 degrees. I mean, you're kidding me, right? This is mid-February, and I remember as a kid, mid-February was usually pretty cold and windy.
Yeah.
Even rainy. Are you from Southern California, Mike?
I'm originally from Oregon.
Right on.
Yeah, but this is unusual weather, and it's still getting kind of chilly at night still, so it's a little strange to dress for.
Can we blame any of that on global warming, you think?
Don't get us started,
I
right?
know, yeah.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I've never really been a big believer of global warming, and I don't think that we would realize such temperature changes in our lifetime. But here we are, 91 degrees, middle of February. I almost have a good mind to bring Al over here and let us know what you think about the weather, Al. But you're not on a microphone. But please share with us. So, what was February like when you were a kid?
Well, I grew up in this area, actually around the South Bay area, and the weather was typically typically foggy in the morning and rainy, and it was never this warm. I
so-
don't remember it being this hot.
So Al shared with us that in the middle of February, in the Bay Area, you said it was
South Bay.
South Bay area, right? Was that Rancho PV?
That'd be,
No, Hawthorne.
Oh,
Hawthorne.
okay, Lawndale, Hawthorne. Okay,
yeah.
right on.
Hermosa Beach and that
Hermosa Beach. That area was foggy, rainy, cold. I mean, that's how I remember it.
Yes.
So anyway,
I don't think some of the folks back east feel too sorry for us though, with all the snow.
Oh
they
my
might be
God,
living.
that's so true.
They don't want to hear it, probably.
There's
I gotta say, I love the cold more than I do the heat.
I love the heat.
You like the heat, really?
I love the heat.
Well,
I
you're-
do.
You
I'm
are
a Southern
you are a
California girl.
You're a native to these lands, I guess,
Yes.
because I'll be honest with you, the heat just kills me. And I don't know if that's just a health thing or something. I don't know. Give us a call, 855-693-4897. Again, you can email us at realestaterantradio@gmail.com. We will not get to your emails during the show, but we will try and answer those emails subsequently on future shows. And Mr. Alonso didn't join us today for whatever reason. I don't know, but he usually has those questions, so we have no questions for today.
I know. I hope he's okay.
Yes. Now,
Yeah.
actually, since Mike is here, maybe we can answer this question. We usually take up the first segment with questions and answers, real estate fun facts, that kind of thing. Let's follow up just real quick with the design deal. If you will, Mr. Pantalones, you can win a $25 gift card to Stevens Steakhouse located in the City of Commerce, compliments of Eddie Tafoya and the Commerce Industrial Council. City of Commerce. If you happen to figure out what kind of house this is, what type it is, you can win one of those gift cards. Can we show the multiple choice there, Mr. Pantalones, if you wouldn't mind? Yeah, there we go.
Oh my God, I was gonna say,
Can you see? Can you see that house on top of that? I mean, it looks like a palm tree, right?
Yeah.
But you know, I believe it or not, this is a trick question, and give us a call. And you can cheat as well on Wikipedia if you like. Go on to Wikipedia and find out what kind of house that is. There is the other one there, right? That's an exuberant one actually.
Which one are they answering? The first one?
Well, they are all the same. There's only one answer.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
But Mike, do me a favor. If you happen to know what it is, don't answer.
Okay.
Okay, because guests don't get the $25 gift card, unfortunately. We're
We
giving that
should.
out. Yeah, yeah. Well, exactly. Well, plus because you have the answer sitting right here in front of you, right?
Oh,
So
I didn't
Right,
see that yet,
exactly.
though.
yeah.
Okay.
So anyway,
But as we know, everybody kind of Googles it anyways and tries to see what it is. Yeah.
occasionally we get a winner,
Yeah,
but then
whatever.
occasionally we get a loser.
That's true.
And there was one gentleman, and we mention this quite often, where he got two wrong answers. I mean, how you get two wrong answers on a multiple question that has only three, right? So that's an interesting concept there. So anyway, give us a call 855-693-4897. You can win one of those $25 gift cards if you have a question for myself, Lisa, or Michael. And Alonso, well, no questions for him today, apparently.
Questions.
All right, so I don't know if that's a real phone call. Is that what's going on there, Mr. Pantalones? Nothing. Okay, you're just playing around with the board there. Thank you for
Messing with
that. Yes. So we don't have any real estate fun facts, but we will just start up with our guest today, Mr. Michael Simpson with Michael.
That's terribly sexy.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Mr. Michael Simpson with Michael Simpson Systems, and again, that's a tongue twister. Michael, if I may, does commercial training for investors and also for real estate agents nationwide. And Michael was kind enough to join us today on the show and share with us some of his information. And I guess I will start with you, Mike, by asking how you got interested in real estate and what kind of brought you into that field.
Well, that's a great question. You know, it was actually my wife. My wife at the time was my fiance, and at the time I was chasing girls, and I was a commercial diver, and really didn't have any goals at all. And
Commercial diver.
yeah, commercial diver. Yeah.
What is it like? You were doing somebody was paying you
Yeah.
to dive.
Yeah, yeah.
For what? What were you diving for?
Well, I started off as a scuba diver, and then I became a certified welder when I went to college. And so I thought, well, what if I combined those two and became a certified or a commercial, underwater welder?
Wow.
And so that was
Wow.
I thought it would be great, the best of both worlds. And so I did that. I moved to Wilmington. That's why I moved from Oregon down to Wilmington, California. Went to commercial diving school there. And so I was, you know how you have the ships out in the harbor everywhere in the
Sure,
ports and
sure.
things.
Yeah, the
We were
ports, yeah.
cleaning the sides with these massive uh, uh, hydraulic machines that to clean the algae off of them and clean the propellers.
Oh,
And so
wow.
I was doing mostly that. I really didn't even do any welding underwater. Really, I did some cutting and some inspection, but I did a lot of hull cleaning and prop polishing in the harbors. I worked at Disneyland and did some dredging there where all the ducks float around stuff. So I had some great times, some cool stuff with that. But I was doing that and I was having a lot of fun. And I met Angie, as you know, Lisa, and we went out to dinner and a couple times. And one time she asked me, she said, "Well, so what do you want to do when you grow up?" And I thought, "Oh, that's a great question. I hadn't really thought about that at a deep level." And so I went home and started doing what I like to do, which is just meditate and really focus and think. And all of a sudden, it was probably a few days later, somebody knocked on my door, and it was the manager of a Century 21 office, and he was farming and recruiting at the same time for agents. And I thought, that's it. There's my calling. That's what was meant to be. And that's how I got into the
Just like
business.
that,
Just
huh?
like that. Yeah.
I have to ask if we can just back up for 1 second because the harbor you're talking about is Long Beach, right?
Yeah. Right.
Right, because Wilmington is bordering there. Wilmington being an industrial town
Right.
and commercial. The times that I've gone to the Queen Mary, other times that I've gone on, I don't know, those little whale watching cruises and stuff like that. I don't know that I would jump in that water. I mean, you're talking about jumping in as a scuba diver. I mean, did you see anything kind of creepy down
Oh,
there?
yeah.
Well, I'm sure he has seen some
Yeah,
stuff
we
in
could,
there,
we could do a whole show on my experiences with that. Yeah, you always do, and it's I love it though. To this day, I got my daughter Bethany certified at 13, which is the age that you could do that, and now it's a
Nice.
daddy-daughter thing that we get to do together. And it's just a great experience. When you're in the water like that, there's no phone, there's no distractions, just you and the fish, and so it's
Wow.
really relaxing.
What do they say about those scuba divers? Like, it's almost like you're a risk seeker too. I mean, to really go in the
Yeah.
ocean like that, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I
it's
don't know. I'm thinking
I
Loch
don't
Ness
know.
monster, stuff like that.
I know. That's what I mean. Yeah, I know.
You know, the water's kind of mucky. I gotta say. You know.
Well, there's that saying, they're more afraid of you than you are of them, and that it really is
Oh,
true.
there you go.
As long as
There
they're
you go.
not feeding or you're bothering them in their environment, you're probably going to be all right.
Well, it's all fun and games till somebody gets hurt. You know, you lose a leg or something, and that's where I draw the line. You know.
Well, you can't be in fear, right? You
Yeah.
can't be
That's
in fear in
right.
anything.
That's
You gotta
right.
just
Yes,
keep on.
yes.
You gotta live your life.
That's right.
You know, I'm always dealing with acronyms, right, Lisa?
Oh yes.
And that acronym came up the other day, fear,
fear.
and I thought it was really interesting what the acronym really stood for. False evidence appearing real.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Isn't that
right.
interesting?
It is, isn't it?
Anyway, give us a call, 855-693-4897, and we can give myself, Lisa, Michael, a question. You have a rant about a real estate agent. You have a problem in real estate. We'd like to address it on the air if you like. Give us a call, 855-693-4897. Or if you're too shy to call, you can email us at realestaterantradio@gmail.com. We have in studio today Mr. Michael Simpson. You can reach him at 805-769-4625. And Michael does national speaking for real estate agent companies as well as investment companies, and probably a whole other facet of things that or clients that you get. What are some of the other clients that you get when you go out and speak?
Well, right now what we're picking up is anything from the real estate agent that has it's all across the board, a single family home that they're trying to figure out how to consult with somebody about their tenant, from that to a 60-door hotel. I mean, and everything in between. So we get anything that has to do with investments and commercial real estate. We seem to get it.
Nice. Okay, so a gentleman walks up to your door, Century 21 agent, just happens to be door knocking. I mean, back then, I think we used to call them bird dogs. Yeah.
Okay, well, don't touch that mouse. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more Real Estate Rant.
Real Estate Rant and AGR Realtors are proud supporters of Michael Aguilar and Associates, advocates for stroke awareness and integrative healthcare.
In February 2012, I suffered a stroke due to high blood pressure. I was rushed to the hospital where I was admitted for the next 30 days. I was initially told I may have to stay in the hospital for about 3 months, but I made rapid improvements in my recuperation and continued to improve to this day.
When Michael left the hospital, he did not have insurance to cover his rehabilitation, so he focused on integrative healthcare to get better. At the end of 2013, seeing a need for stroke awareness, Michael started his own company, Michael Aguilar and Associates, to focus on creating awareness about the dangers of high blood pressure and stroke.
If you would like more information, please call me at 562-464-7297, or you can visit my website at www.strokeawareness101.com.
Michael Aguilar and Associates, creating awareness and saving lives one person at a time.
Do we have your attention? When it comes to tequila, two things matter: heart and passion. Never compromising integrity for mass production. Number one Tequila delivers the goods. Taste the heart and passion of Mexico in every bottle. We make it right. We make it fun. Superior Tequila. There's only number one. There's only number one. There's only number one.
Been in an accident? Then you need your vehicle professionally repaired. That's exactly what you get when you bring your vehicle to Greg's Auto Body Repair. Free quotes within minutes. We will provide everything you need for a hassle-free auto body repair, from an accurate estimate to working with your insurance company. We will get your vehicle to its pre-accident condition as soon as possible. Greg's Auto Body has been serving Los Angeles County and local cities since 1970. Call us at 562-789-1300.
A home is the biggest investment in most people's lives. Buying or selling should be a positive experience.
Whether you want to be a wealthy real estate investor or just trying to find a place to call home, at AGR and Associates, we focus on the client's needs.
We understand the market better than most. Let us bring the value to you and make the right choice.
AGR and Associates, making your dream house a reality. Call us today for a free consultation at 562-882-1976. Or you can log on to www.agrrealtors.com.
With a track record of great results, bringing knowledge, wisdom, and expertise to you. Hablamos español. Live from the Rant Radio Network,
You're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host, Alex Alanis.
and your co-host, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
No problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. We are back here at the Real Estate Rant. I'm Alex and Lisa here at the Real Estate Rant Towers of the Rant Radio Network. And let's give a small shout out to Mucho Macho Michelada, which some of us will be drinking on the show, usually after the show, right around 4:30. Thank you to our studio audience who loves that Mucho Macho Michelada stuff. Yes. As we continue on with the show here, for some reason, I know Alonso didn't show up today. Don't know what happened to him. I hope he's okay. And we send out the good vibes, the positive
Yes,
vibes.
Absolutely.
Send out those positive vibes, hoping that Alonso is okay, because we didn't get a phone call from him today, and he didn't show up. So I'm hoping that it wasn't anything. Yeah, I was hoping it wasn't anything legal. Thank you, Mr. Pantalones, for that. Give us a call. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Mr. Pantalones. He was not. See, now he's in the zone. See, this first segment there, he wasn't too much in the zone. Yes. So give us a call at 855-693-4897, or you can email us at realestaterantradio@gmail.com. Again, we have Mr. Michael Simpson from Michael Simpson Systems, and I'm going to say that right once this afternoon. You can give him a call at 805-769-4625. If we can throw up his banner, Mr. Pantalones, if you wouldn't mind. We could burn that into eternity, because this will be pre-recorded and put on YouTube. So if you just happen to remember the date of the show, you can go on YouTube, type in Real Estate Rant, and you can get Michael's information. If you own an office, have a large, small team, Michael can come in and consult with your agents and or investors on what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. Right, Mike?
That's right. Yep.
Right on.
Yeah,
Right on.
Yeah, Michael. How did you kind of get into the commercial business? What was your draw and what was your passion that you decided to do commercial?
Well, I was doing residential for about 7 years, and I took a class, and in the class, a lot of light bulbs were going off for me. I was loving the fact that it's logical versus emotional. And I'd go see a seller, and maybe some of you guys can relate to this. I'd go see a seller, I'd bring them comps and show them this is what the other homes are selling for in the area, and they say things like they'd look at them and say, "Oh no, mine's worth $100,000 more than all of these." Right?
Well, there's that dreaded word, right? The
Yeah.
C word,
It's
comps.
the C
right?
word, right?
We do have a phone call, Mike. If I can interrupt there for a second,
Sure.
Mr. Pantalones, what do you have, sir? Thank you for calling Real Estate Rant. How can we help you? And it looks like we might have. Thank you for calling Real Estate Rant. How can we help you,
Oh God, we can't
Mike?
hear
I got
him.
no sound. But anyway, so there's that dreaded C word again, comps, right?
Right.
And Mike, I don't know if I told you, I was an appraiser for 18 years.
Yeah, you did tell me that. That's right.
6 or 7 of those years, I was a review appraiser. I did all
Hello?
50 states. Oh, there we go. Okay, now we have some sound. Thank you for calling Real Estate Rant. Can I get your first name?
My name is Amy.
Hi, Amy. And how can we help you today?
I'm a new real estate investor, and I just had a question. In your opinion, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
In your opinion, do you think it's worth the money to hire a property manager or manage it yourself?
You want to take this, Mike?
Sure. Thanks for calling in, Amy. What type of property?
Well, I'm pretty new to the real estate investing world, so I was just looking for, I guess, some general information.
Well,
Okay.
what about a hypothetical, Mike? Why don't we use a hypothetical?
Sure, yeah.
Using a property management company versus not using one.
Well, I believe in most areas when you get around the 16 unit mark, you're required to, for one. But it just depends, Amy. It depends on what you're buying and what's your level of time for one is, meaning do you want to be the person who facilitates and handles all of the calls for leaking toilets and broken sinks and those kind of things? Do you want that coming your way, or do you want that going somewhere else? That's one thing. A lot of us don't have time to deal with that. And then the other would be, can you afford it? Does the asset you own, will it cover with cash flow? Can you afford to pay somebody to do that? For me,
Well,
go ahead.
yeah. Like, what does a property manager typically cost? Right.
Usually a property manager, you have two different types. You have a type that will live on the premise or be required to be on the premise, depending on the number of units and the type of property. And then you have the manager that's off-site that is not. And the on-site management type is usually just going to get a reduction in their rent of some sort. Maybe it's, half off or something like that, some sort of negotiated rent decrease. So it really doesn't cost a lot of money that way, versus a hired management company where you hire them to manage your company. And even those companies are going to charge a percentage of the rent, usually 5 to 6% of the rents.
Amy, I have a question for you. You said you're a new real estate agent, recently licensed.
Yeah.
And that's what you mean by that, right? You just recently got your license and you're looking for a niche in the real estate market.
You know what? You're kind of hard to hear.
Okay, let me speak up a little bit. You're recently licensed agent.
Yes, I am.
Oh.
I'm new to real estate, and
Because it sounds like maybe you want to get into property management. Is that your question?
yes, I'm looking into investing myself. I recently got my license, and I'm just looking at, I guess, all of the different possibilities out there available to me.
Okay, because I get this question a lot. I'm the trainer at my office at AG Associates, and quite frankly, what it boils down to, and I'll put it in layman's terms, it's profit. If the management of whatever property is not making any profit, especially for the investor, property management usually is one of the things that's kicked out. Mm-hmm. So it's all part of a calculation. Okay, it's an investment calculation, and it always the foundation of the calculation is profit. So if you start with that basis, and I'll be honest with you, you can Google some of this stuff. Most of it's on Google. If you start Googling property management, you start Googling even the word profit, you'll find a lot of information that pertains to that, and then it'll open up all new questions about the first question that you had about property management.
Yeah, and I'll add too, Amy, that in my opinion here is I do not like to manage my own properties, and I like to hire it out to somebody else. I don't want the calls. I don't want to deal with any of that stuff. I don't have time to deal with that stuff. My time is much more effective doing other things that I'm strong at, and that's my opinion. And I think that every investor, unless they're extremely good at fixing things up and they're very handy and they love that kind of thing.
So it's maybe better to find someone to specialize that can sort of streamline the process and do it more efficiently.
Yeah, and I would think too, it's everybody's personal opinion as well too, like you said, Michael, because there is some people that are very handy and they're licensed contractors and they don't mind doing that.
They love it.
Yeah, they
absolutely.
love doing it. So I guess it all depends, where you're at, Amy, on that.
Yes, I mean, there's something else too, is that there's different types of property management. Mike touched on that a little bit in terms of cost, but there's also responsibility on the contracts. There are different types of managers, because sometimes you'll have a property manager speaking with the landlord, and the landlord will say, well, hey, this guy hasn't paid rent. Are you going to kick him out? And it's not the property management's responsibility, because he wasn't contracted to do that. So those are all things that you need to think about when writing a contract with a property manager, and you as an agent need to understand those eccentricities, especially on the contracts.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you so much for all of the information.
Right
I
on.
really appreciate
Give us a call anytime, Amy. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for calling, Amy.
Yeah.
We
And
have a
wish
call.
you much success as well too, Amy.
Yes, absolutely. Feel free to call us anytime. We have a call online too. Thank you for calling Real Estate Rant. How can we help you? Looks like give it a try, Lisa. Maybe they just can't hear my mic.
Hello? Can you hear us?
Yeah, they must not have it. So anyway, back to what we were talking about. We started off. You started off as scuba diving. Somebody came along, door knocking. Like I said, we back in the day we used to call them bird dogs, canvassers, that kind of thing. And this individual, I guess, impressed you possibly. And are they back on? Thank you for calling Real Estate Rant. Can we help you?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm getting a buzzing sound,
Yeah,
Mr.
me too. I'm
Pantalones.
getting a buzzy sound as well.
So this is how you got your start in the real estate market.
Yeah, it was actually that sexy wife of mine that got me, thinking.
And she is sexy.
Did she give you a nudge? She gave you a nudge?
She did give me a nudge. And I'll tell you something else real quick is that I was sitting. You wear wetsuits, right? And so I took it off to get this California sun and warm up, and then I had to put it back on, and I took it off and put it back. Well, about the third time of doing that, I started putting that cold wetsuit on, and I was thinking, this sucks. And at that point, I started losing my passion, and so I realized I need to do something different at that time. So the timing was really perfect.
And it's
So-
interesting because you probably didn't really think about getting into the business unless that person knocked on your door as well, too.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm all about doing what you love to do. And, all of a sudden my hobby, which I love to do today was becoming something that I didn't love to do anymore. So.
And what drove you that way? I mean, what was it, the turning point there for you as well, too, that you decided to get into commercial?
Well, like I said, I was taking that class, and when I was taking the class, light bulbs were going off. This is logical versus emotional, and that's when we started talking about the comps story and how sellers and buyers, for that matter, the residential world can be so emotional, as we all know, and it's
No, really?
yeah, right, exactly. And so in the investment
Wow.
world, it's not as emotional. It's either the deal that makes sense or it doesn't. It's numbers, and I like that. It's more my personality, more my behavior style, and so I was digging that. And so when I took the class, at the end of the class, the instructor called me and said, "Hey, if you come over to my office and help me build a commercial division, I'll mentor you." And so I thought, wow, what a great opportunity. And so that's how I did it. Went over there, started helping them build a commercial division, and started selling at the same time. What I did was I took about 2 hours a day, carved out 2 hours a day for my commercial real estate business. I was doing over 100 deals a year at that time, so my residential business was extremely busy. Carved out 2 hours a day and just stopped all the residential stuff and started doing commercial.
Okay, well, we'll be right back. Don't press that now.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more Real Estate Rant.
It's one thing to own a business, it's another to promote it. That's why thousands of business owners rely on Monster Marketing Group. Design, print, mail, custom mailers, all for as little as 29 cents delivered. That includes postage. Send to a neighborhood, zip code, or an entire city. With just a simple call, 888-49-MONSTER, you can easily promote your business, sales, events, grand openings, send coupons, and much more.
Your mail delivers in as little as 5 days. No dealing with the mailing list or paperwork. Monster Marketing does all the heavy lifting. Get started now by calling 888-49-MONSTER or go to monstermg.com.
Monster Marketing Group. We deliver, we give you results, we can prove it.
Real Estate Rant and AGR Realtors are proud supporters of Michael Aguilar and Associates, advocates for stroke awareness and integrative healthcare.
In February 2012, I suffered a stroke due to high blood pressure. I was rushed to the hospital where I was admitted for the next 30 days. I was initially told I may have to stay in the hospital for about 3 months, but I made rapid improvements in my recuperation and continued to improve to this day.
When Michael left the hospital, he did not have insurance to cover his rehabilitation, so he focused on integrative healthcare to get better. At the end of 2013, seeing a need for stroke awareness, Michael started his own company, Michael Aguilar and Associates, to focus on creating awareness about the dangers of high blood pressure and stroke.
If you would like more information, please call me at 562-464-7297, or you can visit my website at www.strokeawareness101.com.
Michael Aguilar and Associates, creating awareness and saving lives one person at a time.
The experts know that for pastry, Baker's Bodega has it all. Exclusive brands like Westco Bankmark, Satin Ice, and Pastry Pride. One-on-one day seminars for cake decorating and gelatin art. So for our service, wide range of ingredients and supplies, and for the low prices, Baker's Bodega has it all. But you don't need to be an expert. Baker's Bodega, 7869 Paramount Boulevard in Pico Rivera. Come, we're waiting for you.
It's hot out here. I need a drink. Have a mucho macho michelada.
What's a michelada?
Michelada is a Mexican Bloody Mary made with beer. All you have to do is get bucket-sized michelada, open it up, pour it in your favorite beer, and you're good.
What if you don't like beer?
You can use it in lemon lime soda, vodka with lime, or tequila with lemon lime soda.
Sounds delicious. Where do you find it?
You can find it at your favorite store, or you can go to muchomachomichelada.com.
Find us on Twitter and Facebook.
Live from the Rant Radio Network,
You're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host, Alex Alanis.
and your co-host, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
No problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. And we're back here at the Real Estate Rant, here at the towers of the Rant Radio Network. Alex, Lisa, and Michael are here having a conversation over pizza and beer. Give us a call at 556-934-4897. And oddly enough, I think we have somebody on the line. Is that correct, Mr. Pantalones? Thank you for calling Real Estate Rant. Can we help you? Are you getting that, Mr.
Are you there?
Oh, there we go. What is your first name, please?
My name's Angie.
Hi, Angie. How are you? This is Alex. How can we help you today?
Well, I have a question from a consumer perspective. So if I'm a consumer and I'm interested in buying some commercial property, I'm not sure what types of questions I should be asking a real estate agent to be sure he or she is qualified to meet my needs.
Wow. Well, that's a loaded question. If I can answer first, Mike, if that would be
Sure,
okay with
go
you.
ahead.
Angie, let's start with this. I think sometimes there's some false expectations from real estate agents. Real estate agents really their expertise should only be facilitating the transaction, and that would be negotiations and contracts. Okay, actually, as real estate agents, we depend on other professionals to help us out in the background. Okay, title, escrow, appraisers, even the cities, municipals. We rely on that information and the professionals. So as a consumer, you really shouldn't take the word of a real estate agent on any of those factors because they're not experts in those things. And I'll let Mike take over from there. What is your perspective, Mike?
Well, that's a great point, Alex. I think you're right, and thanks for calling in, Angie. I think that the reality, though, is that it happens, and that consumers approach real estate agents all the time and ask them, interview them, if you will, and training. What training do you have would be a great thing to ask. Do you have any training at all in that realm that you're needing them to help you with? And that goes specific to whatever it is you want help with, whether it's an apartment or a retail shopping center or a hotel. All of those things are specific and require specific training and education. And if they don't have it, then they're winging it, and they're winging it on your dime.
Yeah, and I think I think that can be true as well in residential as well. I mean, commercial I think doesn't corner the market in real estate agents that try and wing it.
Very true.
Yeah, so I think that in terms of your question as well, what questions to ask a real estate agent? Just sitting there and listening to what they have to say, and try and get away from the buzzwords would be in terms of what I just told you. Okay. If you were to come and ask a real estate agent, hey, how do I know that you're qualified to do this? Everything that I just said should have been the answer. Is that I'm just facilitating the transaction. You're actually the one making the offer. You're actually one relying on the information. So I hope that answered your question.
Well, let me chime in also again, Alex, because it just kind of dawned on me too that some things that you'll notice with an agent that knows what they're doing, and this is really any field for that matter that's specific to their field. If you ask them some questions, a great real estate agent will consult, and they'll start immediately responding to your answers with additional questions. So let's say that you were calling and you had an apartment complex that you wanted to sell or buy. What I'm going to do is immediately use what I call elevator scripts and start throwing out lingo that says to you, I know what I'm doing. So I'm going to ask you, hey, Angie, do you happen to have a certain split requirement that you're looking for? And which means the mix, bedrooms and bathrooms. And then I'm going to say, so you're probably looking for something with a little bit of upside potential to it then, right? And we're going to have more dialogue about that. And then I'm going to say, so are you looking to do a value play or something that's vanilla? And then I'm going to end by saying, are you looking to invest horizontally or are you looking to invest vertically? Now, all those questions that I just asked, that's my canned elevator script that I say over and over again. It just demonstrated to you that I know what I'm doing, and it's intrigue. I put intrigue in your mind, so now you're thinking, what does all that mean? So now the next logical thing for you to do is start asking me questions about what those things mean, and boom, I turn around and go for an appointment with you and get to know you a little better. So any agent that knows what they're doing should do those things. They should be responding with specific questions that are all about consulting you.
And it gives you the option now to respond to those things and articulate it a little more and explain exactly what those things mean.
Exactly.
Right on.
Right.
Did that answer your question, Angie? I thought that was a good answer.
Yes,
Thanks.
yes, it did. It gave me some insight into what I want to ask and what I need to be listening for. So that's very helpful.
So in terms of commercial here, you can get Mike's number at right here on the show if you happen to be watching, or I can give it to you as well. It's 805-769-4625. He can help you with any other questions you have after the show. You can also go to Mike's website, www.thencrea.com. And it's also up on the screen. So if you happen to be listening, you can get it that way. Or if you can go on YouTube and type in Real Estate Rant, just remember the date of the show, and this will be burned into eternity. So you can watch it anytime. Thanks you for calling, Angie.
Thanks for calling in.
Thank you, Angie. So, Michael, what is the difference about what you teach to the agents?
Yeah, well, great question. Well, a couple of differences. One is that I've done it. There's nobody that I know out there anywhere that has had this, and I don't mean to brag and boast, but it's what gives me the credibility to help people is that I've done over 100 deals a year for years in residential real estate, and I was in the top 3 in commercial real estate. And you usually have one or the other. You have people that are really good at residential and they train, or you have people that are really good at commercial and they train. I have both, and so I can show that agent. I know what I had to do to merge from residential into commercial real estate and what it took to do that, and the tools and how challenging that was. And then I opened up all my real estate offices, as you know, and I've seen all of these other agents struggle with that. It's why I launched this company that you're looking at, the National Commercial Real Estate Association. It's because I realized there's such a huge demand and a need for that little niche that's out there. And so that's one thing that's unique. The other thing that happened to me is I had a mentor that helped me. Remember the guy I told you that I went over to his office and was helping him build a commercial division?
Yes.
He taught me what's called a grid system. And at the time, I didn't realize it was unique and no commercial brokers were using it. Well, now I realize, and it's one of the reasons I had so much success. Now I realize it's very unique. And so I'm bringing those two things to the table.
Right on, right on. So this is an intriguing question here. I have on my outline, and I'm trying to remember what it was about. So we may be taking a step back. But what's the story about the Nissan truck?
Okay, so the Nissan truck story. The Nissan truck story. So when I first started, I opened up with Alex and told him that he started digging and got me to open up, and I told you, dog, and I do
apologize. I do apologize.
It's all right. He said, loosen up, and made me start digging deep. And so I was broke. I was flat broke when I got into real estate, and I didn't want anybody to know that, obviously. And I had a Nissan truck, and my wife had a little Chevy 3-cylinder Sprint that we were both broke, and so I'd meet people at the office if I was going to show them property, and I'd say, well, my other car is is at home today, and so can we jump in your car to go drive around? And
my Mercedes is in the shop.
Mercedes in the shop, right? Yeah, exactly. And
this is my weekend car.
This is my weekend car. Yeah, so we'll jump in yours today, and maybe people can relate to that. I'm sure. I know they can. And
sure.
I went on listing appointments and parked down the street, and so they wouldn't see what I was driving. So that's the Nissan truck story, and come a long way since then. But hey, we all start somewhere, right?
Absolutely. But we were leading into something now as to this kind of gave you the push now to kind of get into commercial right away. Like you didn't spend a lot of time in residential. Is that true?
Well, I spent about 7 years.
Oh,
So it was
okay,
about 7
okay.
years in the residential
That's a
real
good
estate.
amount of time.
Yeah, and then got into the commercial real estate after that. Yeah.
Right
But
on.
but I struggled. I had my struggles, just like a lot of people do. It wasn't all lottery falling on my plate. It's been hard work and a lot of struggle.
Now, there's a component that we talked about when we were writing the outline about being successful, and this kind of applies really in any business, but because we're talking about real estate, we're talking about residential and commercial real estate, about being the best. About being the
saying
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that
You
mean
you
to you?
emphasize
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
You
he
emphasize
did.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a motivator for me. I grew up in Oregon, as I've mentioned a couple of times, and my town of Bend, Oregon, which I love. There are not a lot of black folks there at that time, still aren't today, and so I had a lot of people that picked on me a lot, and I'm small, and I played football, and I had a lot of people tell me I wouldn't be able to play and wouldn't succeed, and so those were all drivers for me that made me. I always had to go harder and stay longer, come earlier than everybody else. And it's a huge driver for me to this day. And so when I talk about being the best, I'm not talking about being number one. I used to be like that. I got to be number one, got to be number one. Well, that doesn't always work out. Meaning that that's not always what it is when you get there. But for me, it means leaving it all on the track. When you're looking back, did you give it 100%? Or not? And to me, being the best is I left it all out there. I have no regrets. I went for it 100%.
Just real quick, I've been to Bend, Oregon, and
Have you?
there are no street lights there. It's all traffic circles, or mostly.
Oh, when was the last time you were there?
I want to say it's about 10 years ago.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You go back now. I mean, we used to four-wheel drive in the West Hills, and now it's all golf courses and built out. I mean, it's completely changed.
Right on, right on.
Yeah.
Mr. Pantalones, I think we have a phone call. All right. Thank you for calling Real Estate Rant. How can we help you? I can hear somebody there in the background. Are you there?
Hello. Rant Radio.
Hello
I can
there.
hear a baby back there.
I can hear somebody back
Yeah.
there.
Hello.
So anyway, we are coming up on time. So maybe one last question.
I just wanted to elaborate what he said about, being the best. And I think it's almost like what Vince Lombardi's motto is that he always says
Who did you
Vince Lombardi.
Is that a family member, Lisa?
No, he is not a family member.
Okay, because I think Al would disagree with you back there.
No, but
You're 7 steps of separation, right?
Yeah,
but
that's
he
right.
definitely has the same motto is that he knows that he always says that, sorry, I'm not speaking into the mic here, but basically what he said is that he knows that even though if his team lost, that if he knows that his team did the best and they tried, that's all he asked for.
That's right. Yeah.
And I think that's with any of us is that if we've known that we've done our very best and we've gone every avenues, that's all we can ask from ourselves.
Are you a Green Bay Packer fan?
No, I'm actually not, but I'm a Vince Lombardi fan.
There you go. There you go.
Well, he was a coach for the Packers.
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're at break, so don't touch that mouse. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more Real Estate Rant.
Looking for a delicious, fresh family meal that's ready when you are and easy on your budget? Welcome to Piara Pizza. We make our pizzas with handmade dough, 100% real cheese, and tomato sauce blended with our own spices. Nothing is ever frozen. We always have large pepperoni and cheese pizzas fresh and waiting for you for only $5. Or choose one of our specialty pizzas. We have veggie, meat lovers, supreme, and Hawaiian. Add an order of our amazing hot wings, cheesy bread, or breadsticks. Our locations are ultra modern, ultra clean, and open 7 days a week. Visit any one of our locations today, or check us out on the web at www.piarapizza.com. Piara Pizza. Fresh, hot, and ready for you when you come in. Stop in for your Piara Pizza today.
ProTech Carpet Tile and Care provides professional cleaning services for carpet, tile, grout, upholstery, and fine area rugs.
ProTech technicians are professionally trained and certified cleaning and restoration experts.
We specialize in restoring damage caused by heavy soil and odor.
We can remove challenging spots such as coffee, tea, ink, gum, wine, and many more.
We have saved our customers thousands of dollars on new flooring and furniture expenses with our advanced cleaning processes.
Call for a free estimate at 562-447-4300 and visit us on our website, www.myprotectsite.com.
Hey, this is Joe Perez, owner at Protect. Just reminding you that Protect Carpet and Tile Care is your professional choice.
Hey, what's up, homie? What's happening?
What's up, bro?
Hey, man, are you into sports?
Oh, yeah, bro. Angels, Dodgers, Ducks all day.
Oh, yeah, you gotta listen to the Mo's Bros Sports, man. They cover LA sports.
Where can I listen, bro?
Oh, you gotta check them out on iRant Radio. That's irantradio.com or Mo's Bros Sports on Facebook. You gotta check them out, Holmes.
Okay, bro. I'll check them out.
All right, I'll check you later, homie.
All right, man. See you later, bro.
Looking for some swag? Make sure to check out monsterclothing.com. They got everything from V-necks, t-shirts, hoodies, baby dolls. And remember, custom orders are always welcome and much more. They're just not on the site yet. www.monsterclothingco.com or call them at 888-49-MONSTER. 888-49-MONSTER. Hablamos español. Doo-doo-doo!
Live from the Rant Radio Network,
You're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host, Alex Alanis.
and your co-host, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
No problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. And we are back here at the Real Estate Rant, here at the towers of the Rant Radio Network. I'm your host, Mr. Alex Alanis, and to my left here, my co-host, Ms. Lisa Lombardi. And we are at the last segment of this hot February afternoon, right in the middle of winter, I think it is. And there's not a
Doesn't
cloud,
feel like
not a
winter.
cloud in sight. And I'll be honest with you, I'd rather be on the East Coast. We have a phone call on line one. Thank you for calling Real Estate Rant. How can we help you? And once again,
Hello?
oh, there we go. This is Alex. Can I get your first name?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can barely hear you, but
Go ahead.
We can hear you. Can you hear us? Huh.
For some reason, they can't hear us, Mr. Pantalones, for some reason.
oh, there we go. Perfect.
Okay. Can you hear
Hi,
us?
my name is Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
And I'm a residential real estate agent. And I had a question. You always hear that investors speak a particular language. And I'm wondering if you have a specific script that you use to get an appointment.
Michael, please.
I do. Yes, I do. In fact, I just said that I use what's called an elevator. I use what's called an elevator script to get my appointments, and if someone's calling in and they're a buyer, for example, I'm gonna ask them if they have a certain split requirement. And then I'm going to ask them if they're looking to do something with some upside potential, which almost everybody is. And by the way, the only folks who usually don't do that are REITs, real estate investment trusts. They like to buy properties where they don't have to do any upside, where it doesn't need any upside potential. And then I'm going to ask them, I'm going to say, oh, okay, great. So you're looking to do a value play versus something that's vanilla. And vanilla would be something a REIT would buy where there is no upside potential. So it's a value play. If you can do upside potential, if not, if it's already been done, maxed out, then it's vanilla. So I'll say, oh, so you're going to do something that's a value play versus vanilla. And they usually kind of gloss over on that. And then I'll say, okay, are you looking to invest horizontally or are you looking to invest vertically? And that is my canned elevator script that I use over and over again. And one of the things that I talk about in my trainings is I suggest that agents have a canned elevator script, because otherwise what we do, we've all done this, is, hi, Lisa, it's Michael. Nice to meet you. And I'm going to give you my card. And if you ever need anything, please give me a call, right? Well, how effective is that? That doesn't work.
Well, that's what everybody says. And by the way, what is it that you do again?
Yeah. So that's that's just one of them. Did that help you? Is that what you were asking?
Oh, yeah, no, that's great. My other question, though, would be, is it important for a residential agent to come across and look different, look commercial?
Oh man,
That's a great
that's a
question.
great question.
How does one look commercial?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. We have a student that completed. I do all kinds of things, as you guys know. I do 60-minute, 90-minute, all day, 3-day. I do coaching, I do consulting for brokers and their agents, and we do all kinds of different things. So we were doing a 3-day event, and one of our students took this 3-day event, and I was sharing with them how to look commercial. And he did 2 of the things that I suggested. And at the end of the class, the very end of the class, which is amazing to me because most people don't have success that quickly. It usually takes them a little bit of time. This guy, boom, the end of the class, emails us and says, "Hey, I've got a thank you so much because I did what you suggested and I landed a $2 million commercial property just like that." And so what you do is if you think about it, if I Googled your name, what would I see? If you sent me an email, what would I see? If you handed me your business card, what would I see? If I went to your website, what would I see? If I looked at your sign, what would I see? Would it say CRS, Certified Residential Specialist? Would have signs everywhere saying, "Hey, I'm a residential person"? Well, all those things are going to be picked up by the investor and by the other brokers that are out there. So you make shifts and changes along the way from the residential look to the commercial look, and these are all things that I share and show you how to do. Then when you do those things now you're looking like that professional commercial broker that people want to see when they pull you up. That's a great question.
That is, and
that is a good question.
It is because I wouldn't even think about that, and
Most people don't.
I think most people don't.
Yeah. And Kelly, if I can add this too, Michael shared with us what he calls an elevator speech, and I think what's more important is to understand what those things mean. Michael's not just saying them just to say them. He is articulating those things because those are what becomes important to an investor. And these are questions that we ask an investor in terms of understanding what it is that they're looking for, what is it that their profit margins are, and that kind of thing. So it's important to understand what they mean, not just to know how to say them. Because I think a lot of real estate agents get caught up in the whole understanding the lingo.
Yeah.
It's kind of like having a bad attorney, I mean, so attorney language is out there too, so
That's right. I'm glad you said that as well, Alex, because one of the things that Lisa asked earlier is what makes my approach so unique, and I didn't think about it at the time, but now it hit me again. And what I'm doing is I'm consulting people and helping them achieve their goals faster. See, anybody can learn about cap rates, return on investment, and debt coverage ratio and all that stuff. You can Google all that, but it's another thing to know it. It's one thing to sit down with you and apply it to help you achieve your goals, because the investor is typically investing for a purpose. They're investing to get out of their position right now and have some lifestyle that they live, the lifestyle they want to live, and have some sort of positive cash flow passively. And it's usually what every investor is doing. They're trying to invest for some sort of end game. And so I'm going to sit with somebody and find out what they're trying to do. Do they want to make $200,000 in 10 years passive income? And I'm going to show them how to do it in 5 years. So that's a great one of the other things that we're doing that's different than anybody else.
And I would think too, dealing with an investor is a whole different caliber as well too, versus not saying a seller or buyer, but when you're dealing with an investor, they're looking at numbers so differently.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And real quick, we have Mr. Mike Barrio in the studio here in the engineer booth from Three Guys Rant, and Mike shared with us on Facebook today about Kanye West. And I had to put a thumbs up on that one. You got a big like on that one, Mr. Barrio, because Mr. Kanye West is in some deep doo-doo for making the comments that he did, and why can't we all just get along? That's what I'm talking about. So, Mr. Michael
Is the caller
Simpson,
still there?
You know what? I don't know. She's not there anymore. Okay. Thanks for calling, Kelly, by the way.
Thank you, Kel.
Thanks for
call
calling in.
anytime, and feel free to log on to Mike's show, and you can ask him more questions. I'm sure he'll be happy to help you. Give us a call, 855-693-4897. And Mr. Pantalones, if we can't throw up the answer to the design deal. Nobody happened to call in. Yeah, why don't you give it a guess there?
I'm going to be honest with you. Before the
Okay,
answers came up,
this is a real quick, Lisa. We got a real estate funny here. Plus, spacious 1554 square foot home with large lot, family room with fireplace, and a huge deck for entertaining and enjoying the views.
Oh my God.
I'll be honest with you. I think some people might run up and buy this or call this person right away.
Wow.
Surely, I don't know what state you're in, but please proofread your ads before you put them up. Mr. Pantalones, if you will, let's throw up the design deal. The answer to the design deal this week is Treehouse.
I knew it.
Yes. And, this is an easy one. And
well, I knew it before you even put up the the answers there because I don't know, it looked like a tree house to me when I saw it.
Yeah, well, tree houses
Yeah.
are platforms they're building, constructing around, next to, or among the trunk or branches of one or more mature trees while above ground level. Tree houses can be used for recreation, workspace, habitation, observation, or temporary retreats. And this one here, this is my house, and I live out in the sticks there in Kentucky. Ding. Right? Yeah, right. This is a treehouse, believe it or not. Can you imagine?
cool, though. It
That
looks
looks like
like
$1
a-
million treehouse. I'll be honest with you.
I
mean,
like
that's-
that. I could do some meditation in
have,
that house.
I have a feeling Unabomber lives in that one there. Anyway, so enough of the design deal. I really want to get into the crux now of what Mike does because we are coming up on time. Mike, real quick,
Yes.
explain to us whether or not CAR now supports commercial.
CAR, California
CAR.
Association of Realtors. You know what? In the beginning, it's been a struggle with CAR. CAR has always been residential. But I got to tell you, there's all these trends now that are taking place, and even CAR is recognizing that these trends are taking place and they're missing opportunities. And if you think about it, if you look at these residential real estate companies like Remax, Keller Williams, Prudential, Coldwell Banker, Century 21, you know, all of them for the most part are launching or have launched commercial divisions. And so the reality is that these residential agents are doing commercial deals. Commercial is 5 units and up, right? So how many residential agents out there have done a commercial transaction? I ask that question all the time, and 80% of the room raises their hand. And so you as well, absolutely.
I showed a restaurant yesterday, actually.
Did you? Okay. So they're doing deals. So you either can push them away or you can support them and say, hey, let's help them.
Well, and believe it or not, Mike, it's because of the conversation that we had. I walked next door to my building, okay, and there's an Italian restaurant there, and I haven't been in there for probably 2 years, I want to say. So I walk in there, I start talking to the owner. He doesn't have it listed for sale, but he's interested in selling. So I'm meeting with the client, actually, that we're looking for some other commercial properties, a warehouse that we're looking for, and I happen to mention it to him. He goes and looks at it. He loves it. We're gonna go in with the investors on Friday to see the property.
Oh, that's
and,
great.
and make an offer probably on the property.
Perfect.
It's a turnkey restaurant.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah. So
See,
that was a
Michael,
sweet
you
deal.
have another success deal here.
Yeah, there we
Yeah,
go.
success story.
Oh, so that was because of our conversation.
I'll make sure.
Okay.
I'll make
All
sure
right, great.
to reach under the table here, Mike, and I'll give you your piece, right? Yeah. So we're talking about mainly about the California Association of Realtors not really being supportive of the commercial sect, if you will. We are coming up on time, Mike. I do apologize, but I'd love to bring you back on the show. There's much more to talk about what you do and how you do it. Mike does national speaking now for private companies as well as investors and real estate agents, making the switch, if you will, from residential to commercial, and or just being ambidextrous, right? I mean, doing both residential and commercial.
Yeah, and just let me clarify that you don't have to worry about necessarily making the switch unless it's what you want to do. A lot of people, they want to do residential real estate, but they want to add an extra $100,000 or $200,000 to their portfolio with commercial and investment properties. I'll show you how to do that. If you're one of those agents that says, I'll show you how to do it right. If you're one of those agents that says, hey, I want to get out of residential and go all the way into commercial, I'll show you how to do that right. It's whatever you want to do. I'll show you how to do it.
Michael, too, do you sell CDs or DVDs?
I do, yes. CDs, DVDs, all, downloads, audios, home study, all of that is on the website.
Right on. So, so thank you for logging in again on the Real Estate Rant here at the Rant Radio Network. We will be here next week, same time, same place, 3:30. And on Wednesdays, coming up at 5 o'clock, we have the Three Guys Rant on NBC. Again, you can reach Michael Simpson Systems at www.thencrea.com.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Thank you, Michael.
And thanks for calling. Thank you, Lisa, again.
Thanks
All
for
right.
tuning in to Real Estate Rant Radio. Make sure to join us every Wednesday at 10 a.m. on the Rant Radio Network, where we talk about solutions to your real estate problems.
The views and opinions expressed by the host or any guest on this show are encouraged to be followed up by a professional tax advisor or attorney, as we are not qualified or authorized to give advice in two areas: legal matters and tax matters.